Article 1231. Obligations are extinguished. Obligations are extinguished when the debt is settled in some way. This means that a creditor and debtor no longer have any responsibility to each other, and their rights to payment or performance of a service are ended. There are several ways an obligation can be extinguished. By payment or performance, loss of the thing due, condonation or remission, confusion or merger of creditors and debtors' rights, compensation for another debt owed by one party to another, novation with a new obligation from different parties than those originally involved. For example, if two people enter into an agreement where one person agrees to pay 10,000 pesos for goods provided by the other person, but then decides not to go through with it after receiving them without paying anything in return, this would be considered extinguishment through non-payment or non-performance. The original agreement between these two parties have been rendered null and void because they did not fulfill their obligations according to its terms. Article 1232. Payment means not only the delivery of money, but also the performance, in any other manner, of an obligation. This concept is often seen in situations where goods or services are exchanged for something else rather than money. For example, a farmer may exchange eggs with a neighbor from vegetables instead of paying cash for them. In this situation, both parties have fulfilled their obligations and made payment to each other without having to use currency as a medium of exchange. Another example is when two friends agree that one will do yard work at the other's house in return for free admission to an event, such as movie night or concert tickets. The person doing the yard work has performed their obligation by completing it and made payment through providing labor instead of using cash payments. In conclusion, payment does not always mean delivering physical cash. Sometimes, it can be done through performing certain tasks or exchanging goods or services between two parties that fulfill certain obligations mutually agreed upon by them beforehand. This concept allows people who cannot afford actual monetary payments to still benefit from obtaining what they need while helping others with things they excel at doing themselves. Article 1233. It states, "A debt shall not be understood to have been paid unless the thing or service in which the obligation consists has been completely delivered or rendered, as the case may be." This means that a creditor cannot simply claim that they have received payment for an outstanding debt until they can prove that all of the requirements related to repayment have actually been fulfilled. This is an important concept when it comes to understanding contracts and agreements between parties, as it ensures both sides are held accountable for meeting their obligations before any money changes hands. For example, if a company hires another business to provide them with certain services over a period of time, but does not receive all of those services within the agreed upon time frame, or at least up to satisfactory standards, then this could mean that no payment needs to be made by either party until such time as these terms are met fully. This rule also applies in reverse. If one party has already sent funds towards covering part of what is owed, then they must ensure full delivery on behalf of the other side before releasing any more payments due under contract law principles. In summary, this principle essentially states that no debt should ever truly considered paid off until everything required from each side involved has satisfactorily taken place according to its own individual conditions and expectations associated with it, whether goods or services provided or monies exchanged. Otherwise, there will always remain some sort element uncertainty about who owes what exactly and when repayment was actually completed correctly from start to finish.